So excuse my hair in this video. I've just taken it out of a bobble and it's been in the bobble for like 2 days and it looks horrendous, but I just had to like talk about today because it's been I don't know, a very confusing, very emotional kind of just, I don't know, it's been a roller coaster of every emotion possible, I think. For anybody that either knows me personally or has been following my blog, you'll know what happened a few months back with my when I was pregnant and went through a medical miscarriage with my little boy at 20 weeks because of various problems we'd seen. You can read more about it on the blog, because obviously I don't really want to have to kind of relive all that and go through it all again, but basically, long story short, he had lots of different problems. They couldn't tell me what was wrong with him, how severe it was. They just knew that they all pointed to something generally wrong with him, and it was a risk. Did we want to continue or not? And after a very, very, very hard time, we decided that we just couldn't see him in pain. If he had no quality of life, we just couldn't live with that, and we decided not to take the risk, because they kept telling us that the amount of things wrong with him just pointed to something really bad being wrong with him, and it was a risk, and we just decided not to take that risk, and to try, and in our heads we were trying not to be selfish, because the selfish thing was to pretend like nothing was wrong and carry on and just not go through any pain and just deal with it later. But we just knew that we felt that it was the right thing at the time. But the thing is, though, like, because we had no definite results, we had nothing, we were just basically making decision based on loads of questions, and that meant like torturing ourselves. We never knew if we were making the right decision. For like lots of times we regretted it. Of course we were going to regret it no matter what. There was, it's just been torturing us for ever since, and we went into the Centre for Life in Newcastle today for their genetics department to get the post-mortem results for Elijah. And I have to say we were very hesitant. We weren't really keen on having a post-mortem, but we knew that if they did find anything out, then it might be useful for future pregnancies, and obviously it was worth doing in that sense. But we just were so worried that they were gonna do the test and say, oh yeah, we found all those things you saw on the scan, but he generally would have been okay, and like that would have killed us. And we were really quite nervous about having the whole post-mortem thing. And I think when I went in today, I wasn't necessarily that scared or anything, because I was really expecting to not hear anything. I was expecting them to just go, yeah, there was nothing else we could see other than those things. We don't really know what that means. Sorry, we can't give you any more information. And that's what I was expecting. Like, that's how it's kind of been for us for a long time. And I just expected to get nothing back. And I expected to be upset by that. But in a way, it was kind of like, oh, well, we're no better off. Like, we just have to live with what's gone on and just hope that we did the right thing. I guess I didn't really think of any other kind of outcomes for today, and I just didn't really think about what I could hear back, and I was really, really surprised. I mean, I just felt like as soon as I sat down, I thought that you have got something to tell me. It just felt like she had quite a lot to tell me, and it didn't seem like she was about to just go, sorry, I don't have much more information. I could see it in her face, that the woman in the appointment, I could just see it, that she was about to tell us stuff, and she was trying to work out how to word everything, and I just knew I was going to hear something back, and I think I wasn't quite prepared for it. And she started telling us all the things that they found with the baby, and they found all the things wrong, quite a few things wrong that they, all the things that they did find on the scan, they found on the post-mortem. The like talipes with his turned in feet and things like that. but they found a lot more. So his feet were kind of fixed in a position, like turned in, but then all of his joints are also fixed, so they couldn't really move, and that then meant that he had like webbing, so like skin had like joined together. There was a lot of fluid on the back of his head, like in his head or his neck, a lot of fluid, lots of other things. And I was sitting there thinking, you're telling me all of this, what does it mean? What does it mean? Does it mean something? Does it mean not much? Like, what does this mean? And I was getting like really eager, and not I suppose excited isn't the word, but just really eager for it to tell me. I just wanted to hear what that meant for him, like whether that meant we did the right thing. And she said that this, although we can never say 100%, we are very like the results have come back that he has something called multiple pterygium syndrome, I think it's called. And again, I was sort of thinking, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean for him? Have we done the right thing? I just wanted to hear the words. And the next words that came out of her mouth, I just let out the biggest sigh of relief, because she said, that syndrome is fatal. He would not have survived. He would have been in pain. He would not have survived. And I felt like I'd just breathed out for the first time in months. Like, it's like, it's weird. It's like I've been holding my breath for months, and I just let out the biggest like sigh, and I was sobbing and I was crying, and I was just saying, oh my God, that's just what I wanted to hear. And it sounds horrible to like want to hear something horrible about a baby, but like I was just like, that's what I wanted to hear. I wanted to know that we did the right thing. And it's like for somebody to tell you that you saved your baby from pain, and you didn't do the wrong thing, just to know that, it's just like, I can't even tell you how that feels. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to cry. But I could see there was more to tell me in her face, and I just thought, I kind of stopped getting excited for a minute, and I just looked at her and I said, so what does that mean for future pregnancies? And I could see the look on her face, and I just thought, no, please, I just leave it at the good news, just leave it there. But I could just tell, and she just said to me, well, unfortunately, it does mean that this syndrome is due to like faulty genes, and like that would mean that myself and my husband both carry the same faulty gene, and essentially what that means is that we would have a 1 in 4 chance of it happening again to any other like future children, which obviously like is absolute shit. And it's like it's a very, very, if you Google it, it's like a very rare syndrome. And I was just like, fucking unbelievable. Sorry, I shouldn't be swearing, but like, just, you know, it's just like, I was expecting it to be something like common, or no, it's something really rare. It's happened to us. We're one of those people that you see and you think, God, that's horrible. That's us. We're one of them. You just never think it would be you, and that is us. Like, we have this horrible syndrome that's like really rare, and like we could pass this on to any children. And like I honestly sat there and I was just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to feel now, because we do want another child. And I was like, and like my husband was quite positive about it. He was just like, well, there's still a 3 in 4 chance that they could be fine. And you know, the doctor was the same. She was like, I don't know, don't rule out that kind of 3 in 4 chance. Like, that's still a big chance. 75% is still a good percentage. And she said every pregnancy has a risk, and yeah, yours is a bit higher, but every pregnancy does have a risk. And yeah, there's, you know, if it was a 75% chance that it could happen in the future pregnancies, then yeah, maybe that's a different thing to think about. But you've just got a slightly higher risk, but it's not, you know, your odds are in your favour in a way. So yeah, so we just have to kind of think about that now, I suppose, and like the future pregnancies. And they did say that they could obviously keep an eye out now more and monitor me more with pregnancies, and if they saw anything, then I would have to terminate the baby, and I might have to go through this whole thing again, and it probably would be around 20 weeks again by the time that they would have any kind of like information. So I would have to go through the whole thing again. and I just have to decide whether I could mentally do that, I suppose. There was those thoughts going through my head thinking, is it selfish to even want another child if I could pass that on? But everybody has a risk, and ours is just slightly higher, and we've got one healthy boy. It's so hard. It's so hard to know what to do. But like, I have to be honest, like, out of everything that came back from it, I think I was overall just relieved. I was just relieved just to hear that what we did was the right thing, and just be able to stop torturing myself. I mean, I've gained the most weight I've ever gained. I mean, so you can see my arms like piled the weight on, like you probably can't even tell in this camera, but like I have gained so much weight. I'm the biggest I've ever been. I've got eczema, I've got bad skin all over me. My hair is always just looking dry and limp. I just feel run down. I'm tired. Like, I am just worn down, and just to know that everything we've just been through wasn't for nothing is like, I can't put it into words. I felt like it's like we knew. I feel like deep down we had like an instinct that he wasn't going to be okay. We wanted him to be, but it's like we just knew. And to know that, like I've said, like, yeah, I just wanted to do this video just again. It's just getting out my emotions, my feelings. Talking about it to the camera does make, not necessarily make me feel better, because I'm still sad and still emotional, but it's just talking about it without having, I don't know, somebody else there to talk to in a way. It's just nice to just talk to the camera. And if I'm honest with you, I'm probably just going to post this out there today, because I almost want to shout it from the rooftops that we did the right thing. It's like I just want to scream it. Like in the car on the way back, me and my husband, we were just saying like we want to scream it, and we were just sitting in the car, sorry, and my husband was just going, we did the right thing, like just shouting it in the car. Like I was crying my eyes out, and he was shouting it like as loud as he could. Like we were shouting it to the world. We wanted to scream and shout it to everybody. No, like what? It's like I want everybody to know. Not that, you know, people probably just thinking, well, you know, we don't know you, but why are you telling us? Why are you telling the world? Why are you telling Facebook followers? Why are you telling everybody? But like, it's such a, like, for us it's such a big thing, and I think a lot of people have been there for us, like these strangers. So many people have seen my blog or have seen like what's happened to me, and like just been there and been so like supportive. And I just want everyone to know that like what we went through wasn't for nothing, and yeah, I just, we've got a lot to think about now, but for the time being I think it's provided some closure for us, and it's just made me feel less of a crappy person, I suppose. But I suppose I should say anyway, thank you to everybody who has been so supportive recently. I appreciate that, like, I haven't really been active on my blog and social media and everything else that really I was doing before, and probably friends and family I haven't really spoken much to, and probably responded to messages and things like that, and I am sorry, and I am thankful that people have been so supportive. But yeah, I just wanted to do this video, I suppose, just to, I don't know, I just wanted to do it, and yeah, hopefully we can, if we have another one, in the future we get lucky. Yeah, thanks again, and thanks for watching this video as well, and thanks for supporting me on my very difficult journey.